All right, I'm back. Yesterday was a long day. Long day. I'm a little tired today. We'll see how long we go. Um, okay, I've spent the morning not on stream, kind of walking around in circles. This stream will probably be a little shorter. Maybe I'll stream a little now and maybe a little afternoon. I don't know. I don't know how this will go today. It may be a lot of quiet times of me just staring at web pages or looking at boxes blankly. uh, what I am doing? What am I doing? So I kind of got everything out because I finished my voice card yesterday. Uh, I did test all the capacitors on there, and then I tested all the leads from the IC, and they seem fine. I went back, and I can't remember which board it is. I think it's the kind of main board, motherboard type thing. And I tested all the capacitors surface mount I found on there. I hadn't before, but they all were fine. I went over those a few times and they seem fine. And I've been spending time just cleaning up the boards a bit and then also just looking them over, trying to make sure I haven't missed any connections, solder joints, trying to make sure all the stuff is on there. I think I've been kind of reading over some of the build forum and DSL Man's website and just trying to like review things and kind of refresh myself. I refreshed myself on the firmware guide now. And now that I kind of have all the parts out, I've been looking over kind of now hookup and kind of final hookups. What was I going to say? SynthCube did send me my quarter-inch headphone jack, which is awesome. Thank you. They've been really great. As soon as I contact them, they just send out whatever I need if it's missing. It's been really awesome. So now, what am I going to do? So I think what I'm after kind of assessing everything and pulling everything out and looking at it, like I found the programmer I have out here. I think it's kind of like final kind of assembly, and then looking at running the power connections. I always get confused. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm an electronics novice. But these switches. This is a dual pole. What is it? Dual pole single throw switch. And it took me a while to figure this one out. It's hard to see. It's a little dark here. But basically, I would have screwed this up. I thought they would have run left to right to make the connections, but that is not the case. What I figured out is the connections run up and down. So these two connect to each other when the switch is either on or off, and these two connect to each other when the switch is on or off. So there's only one switch, and it basically connects the two above or below. So how do I say it? Like these two would connect if you threw or unthrew the switch, and the ones on the opposite side would connect up and down if you threw or unthrew the switch. And the orientation I have it is, I always get confused too whether up is on or off. In the US, up is usually on and down is off. Is that right? Yes. You'd throw a light switch up to turn it off and down to turn it on. I mean off. Up is on, down is off. I was reading online that that's not the same in a lot of countries. That down is on and up is off. So I don't know how it's going to, but I'm going to do mine like that. So right now mine is on, set to the on position. And it's in this orientation where the kind of empty two plastic areas are up. And the switch will be up to be on. And I was kind of studying how it's going to, I guess it'll come in through that. I don't know what they called. I should really use the right names for all these things. I never know what they're actually called. What is this one? Whatever this thing is called. This is called the Breakout Board. Yeah, this is the main kind of breakout board where the power will come in over here. I'll look again, but I'm almost positive Kijimi's 24 volts. Yeah. I'm a little confused by these guys. I've never used these kind of connectors before. I mean, I know this part's kind of a press fit and it goes on. But it looks to me that with stranded cable, you would just kind of twist it and then put it down. And then I think bend it over and it kind of clamps it in there. So it's kind of a solderless connection. I don't know. I've never used these. So that's going to take a little bit of experimenting, I think, just to sort of sort that out. But it looks like you press it down in between the metal leads and then pull it over forward there to have it clamp in. And so I have to run basically that to the top, say 2 leads on here, and then, so say white and black or whatever it is, whatever the convention I'll use, and then out the bottoms to matching top to bottom, and then run those out to which board? That goes to the power board. I don't know if they call it the power board. Is it called the power board? It would make sense that it would be called the power board. Yeah, power board, right? So it's going to connect to this guy on the power board. And I wasn't sure which was ground, but I'm almost positive the round one is ground because the square one is going over here to the fuse, which looks like then... I don't know, maybe I have that wrong. Maybe that's the ground. I would assume square is usually ground, but I'm actually not sure about that. I'm going to have to figure that out because it just says power. It doesn't say positive and negative there. For some reason, I would assume this fuse would be the signal, and then it runs from there to wherever on the board. I'm not sure about that. And then I think what I'm going to do is once I figure the power and ground out here and get this powered, I am going to test with these little test lead holes just to make sure my voltages are coming out properly from this board. There was a lot of confusing things like this C, which one was it? C, I think it was 8. The capacitor 8, that was a major, it was reversed on the silk screen. And the orientations of these are all different. The LEDs, it's really tricky. A lot of people have messed this up. I double and triple check mine. They all look right. I think I did it right. But I am going to test this before I power the whole unit, I think. So there's that. There's the power board. So I'm kind of planning out how I'm going to do this. Now, I bought the new version, what is this, Breakout Board. And it didn't come with this audio connector breakout pins over here. But I built the version 1.0 board previously, and I have it on here. So I think I'm going to desolder this one and solder it in. Now, I've been kind of confused reading online, but there are these jumpers. There's a jumper pin here, and there's also a jumper pin on the board where you plug in all the voice cards. And I think both of those jumper pins are going to have to come off. The jumpers are installed on mine. These are going to have to come off if I run my audio to this input here, which I think I am because I'm not sure how you say his name, Ando, on the build group. He said that there's less chance of noise if you use that separate breakout audio there and run a separate line there that's shielded. And SynthQ did include this wire, and it looks shielded to me. It's hard to tell, but there's two plastic encoded leads in there, a stranded cable, and then it looks like there's a wire mesh around those two, so that's the shielding. So I'll definitely use this one for the audio then, but I don't know if they intended me to use this for the audio and all of the power connections. I'm not sure about that. They did include some white stranded cable, this stuff, and I'm assuming maybe they intended this to be the power. I don't know, but I do have solid core uh, consolidated wire as well. So I'm not sure what I'm going to run for the power yet. I might run the solid core wire. I'm not sure exactly there. But still thinking about that. But so for that audio, I think I want to use the not, because if you have the jumpers the way I understand it, I think, is if you have the jumper on the breakout board and the jumper on the, I don't know what you can call this thing. Let's get the names right. The motherboard, MB. I'm assuming NB means motherboard or main board. Main board, I think they call it. If you have the jumpers, the little jumper pin, the little jumpers here. Where is it at? It's in there. If you have that installed on the breakout board and the main board or motherboard, it will transfer the audio through the ribbon cable, which both Jan and Ando have said, that can cause noise, which doesn't sound nice to me. Why build this crazy synthesizer and get noise? So that's why I think I'm going to jump to this stuff and try to run that external 2-wire audio connector. So that's the plan there. And there is a mount for it on the main board for the audio connection. So I think I'm going to try to run that with this. And then I think I may use my own solid core wire for the power. I'm not sure about that yet. I mean, I think it'll be fine. And then I need to wire in my switch and all that stuff. I still haven't soldered in my headphone jack because I just got it. I definitely do want to sandwich that stuff together and make sure the alignment's right and not screw up how I did the first time. And so I'll solder that one in kind of last as well. So what to do today? I don't know. I'm kind of like swirling. There's a lot of like moving parts now all coming together. The firmware process looks pretty straightforward. I am a little confused. It seems like I have to run like the base firmware installer first. And then I saw that there was at least 1 or 2 updates to this firmware. I think a 1 point something and then a 1.3 something is like the newest one. The numbers may be wrong. But at any rate, there is a newer one that just came out recently. And I'm assuming I have to install the base firmware from the original one. And then I could just, I think, jump to the last one with the actual Black Corporation updater once it has a base software. So I think that's the plan there. So what to do today? That's the question. I think what I'm going to do, before I sandwich these together, I want to put the legs on the main board that will hold the voice cards. I know the fourth leg on there will ground with the new voice card, so I'm just going to skip installing that one altogether. But I'm going to install, I think, 3 of those legs on there. And then I think what the plan would be is to then maybe sandwich the hardware board to the main board and get those connected. And then I guess maybe then have my headphone jack there and just kind of screw the front cap on and get it aligned and ready to solder. And then I don't know from there. Maybe start wiring for power, but then wiring the power just to the power board, not connected to the main board, and then run tests to make sure that power board's outputting each negative and positive voltage properly. I don't know. I think that's my plan so far. Okay, so let's kind of start rolling on this. I think what I'm going to do is look at attaching those stands now to the main board or motherboard. All right, so I'm going to switch cameras over and we'll take a look at everything. Okay, there we go. I'll be back with you here in a second. I'm going to switch mics and positions. All right, so we're over here now. So here is the main board. Main board, or motherboard, I would call it, main board. My finished voice card from yesterday. This is the Ando, and Jan made this, breakout for each of the 8 voices with a stereo and some pans on it. I'll definitely be using that. I haven't drilled out the main box yet, the sheet metal box. And here's our power board, which I'll test maybe today. I haven't decided. And then I have our, what is this one called? Is this the hardware board? Yeah, hardware board here. This is the front. This is the back side upside down. Okay, so we got that, and that needs to mount to the main board here. But before I do that, I need to install those legs. I know that. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to pull these things over. I think these are some of the things I'll need for that. We have kind of these nuts and these silver kind of screws and the actual legs here. Now, looking at this thing, I'm almost positive when this goes on, these go like this. The voice cards go in here like this. And I think this is the one that touches, so we're going to look there, but I'm almost positive. I'm going to take all these out, so we should only need 3 of these because the 4th one touches, but I'll take them all out. And I think this is the one, if I install this on here, I think this is the one that we want to get rid of, because if this goes here, I think it's going to touch this voice card. I'm going to just kind of do this visually here. I think you guys can see this on cam. Yeah. So there, if this would plug in here, yeah, this is the one for sure. I can see that it's going to ground out here. Yeah, definitely this is the one. So want to get rid of that one. And then these 3 I can install. And I want to do that first because once I sandwich this together, I won't be able to get back here to put these screws in and things. And I don't know, these look like threaded or something, so I don't think we need the nuts for this part. I think those are for maybe the last voice card or something on the ends. I don't know exactly. We'll see though. So I'm going to put this on, and these have to go this orientation to hit the cards. We're definitely going to test this after we kind of do this. Are these hexes? What are these? No, this is just a plus screw. So I'm going to grab my tools here, and we'll switch that out and get a plus on here. It needs to be a little bit bigger one. Yeah, that works perfect. Okay, so let's screw one of these on. And hopefully I can hold this up and not mess anything up. And I don't know if you guys can see this real well, but I'm going to change camera angles here in a second too, and see if it's any easier to see from a different orientation. I'm just going to snug that up kind of visually to that pad. I don't really know how that's going to work out. We're going to have to, figure that out in a second when we kind of get the voice card lined up in there. I also want to switch over to this view and just see how the iPhone SE. Okay, so that's not a bad view either. Here's the one I'm working on. The L kind of goes this way. Because I believe And this is not going to be this is going to be the power card, but the voice cards will fit in this orientation. And that looks pretty good. But I think this one will actually mount to the power board, which is number 1. Here. And oh, here is the little jumper. Maybe I can show that in the cam. Where's it at? I'm going to stick my finger right next to it. But mine is a little black jumper, but it's right next to the audio outputs, which makes kind of sense. So I think I need to remove this jumper here and that jumper on the breakout board, or else it will the audio will come through the ribbon cable over here. Here's the programming port. Here's the ribbon cable to connect to the breakout board. And I believe if I remove the jumper here and the one on the breakout board, the audio then will transfer through this connector, which should, I hear, cause less noise, which would be ideal, because who wants noise? Yeah, that seems to be lining up really well. I mean, I haven't figured out if the holes exactly line up. I don't want to stick it in there yet because I'm afraid to bend those pins or something. But I'm going to leave that like that. That seems pretty good. I don't know how finicky these are for alignments. It seems like there should be some wiggle room in there, but you never know. Okay, now I'm going to do this one. Stick it up here. Hopefully you can see it now. You can kind of see that. And draw this guy in. Am I even hitting the threads? I don't think so. There. Now I can tell I have it. Can I angle this to you and do this left-handed? Okay. That one looks pretty good too. I'm going to kind of just, again, visually do this. Maybe I should switch back to the other cam for this. It's a little further away though. What I'm doing is just really kind of visually aligning it to the pads and trying to make sure it's straight before I give it a tug down. Seems pretty tight. The other one I didn't really tighten, but I think I'm going to give it a little bit tighter now. It did shift. Okay, tight enough, I think. Those look good. Now, I don't know if I need where these are supposed to go. I don't know if these are supposed to go on the tops of those. There's 4 of them. And let's see, do the threads fit? Maybe these are supposed to go on here to like make sure this doesn't go anywhere. I don't know, it kind of hits the pin. I got to look online now, I think, and see how other people's looked, because here, let's do that. Because I don't remember this. I don't remember how this is exactly supposed to look. So let's go to CRG. Let's pick the wrong one. Here we go. And let's just scroll down. This is the DSL Man website. Am I going to be able to find this? What am I looking for? I'm looking for... here's what we're doing. No, they just have the screws there. I can see it. The screws come up through just how I'm doing it. And I don't know what those 4 nuts are for, actually. Good question. I don't know, maybe for oh, I see them right there. I think I just saw it right here. Oh, I see. So when you put the screw through from the stand, it's going to attach maybe the power board or something. I don't know if you're going to need them, though, once you have these, or maybe it's at the end or something you can use those. Okay, I see. So it's it's what I thought. It's some part of connecting these to this now. May have those four nuts. We'll find out. I don't know. They have standoffs and all that stuff. My guess is it might be needed there somewhere. Okay. I see anything else I need to look at. Look at the power cables there. They have some kind of cover on their power cable thing here. I don't think I have any of those. I guess that's to prevent it from popping up. I don't know. Those are weird. I've never used those before. I'm not sure how that's supposed to go. It looks like it may be designed for a stranded cable, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. We'll solve that in a bit. Okay, so let's switch back then. Let's go main cam, and I'll pop back over here. So it looks like I can just go ahead and install the rest of, or this last foot, and skip the fourth one. I think that's the plan. Trying to be careful not to hit my or bend my pins on the connector for the hardware board. Boy, these look really close to these resistors. Definitely going to want to look at this with the head thing on and make sure this isn't touching any of my resistors. Man, it's really tough to get these straight. I don't know how picky I need to be about that. Oh, they have clearance, but definitely checking that out. But yeah, they just look okay. They're not really getting anywhere close there. Okay, skipping the fourth. So I think we're done with that. Is there anything else we need to do to this main board? I don't think so. I guess I need to, maybe I'll visually look again one last time here and make sure I haven't missed any solder points. Almost positive that I have not. And just double, triple, quadruple checking this. Maybe we can switch over to the SE. It's the wrong cam. There we go. Just visually inspecting this, making sure I made every solder connection at least. Boy, is that bridged? No. Is not. All right, this is looking good. I don't see anything missed on that side. Are all the ICs in place and stuff on this side? I think so. And I am, before I forget, I think I'm going to just remove this jumper and the other jumper on this board. I'm going to remove those to leave them here. Okay? Oh, and we also need this old board where I'm going to remove the audio signal pin here because the new one didn't have one installed. So I am going to do that as well. I'm going to desolder that in a second. So I'll stick this to the side here for now. Okay. So let's put some of this stuff away. These are nut things. Here's the mount. We don't need this extra mount. I'm going to put that one away. I'm going to put these away, these 4 nuts. I don't think we need these for now. And I think we're actually done with all of these for now. These silver screws. Okay, done. I'm going to stick these back over here in the hardware box and call that good. So I think we have this installed now. Here, let's look at this and just make sure this fits to the voice card. If this voice card was here. Yeah, that looks like it's lining up just right. That's perfect. You can't maybe see it on your end, but it's looking like it's going to fit well. Okay, good. In here, I'll test just the power board again with both of those installed. And just see that it's sitting flush. Yeah, that looks like it's going to work well too. Okay, good. So that part's done. Now, what are we going to do? I think I'm going to desolder that pin from the other one. So I'm going to grab my iron. I'm going to move this guy out of the way now. Put it over here. And I'm going to grab my iron. Get that guy heated up. I don't know. These pins are kind of big. Let's see if this fits. It is this one. Is this going to work? Oh, it seems perfect. That seems like just the right one. So I'm going to leave that one on there. And I'm going to plug this guy in and start heating it up so we can desolder that guy. Okay. I gotta just wait till the little red light goes off here. This is the ribbon cable and the hardware for the, what is it? The 1/4-inch audio jack. I'm gonna put this back over here for now. We're not hooking that up yet. And just move our 1/4-inch audio connector there. And then we're gonna get this guy off. I don't think I have any extras of those. It seems like from what I was looking at that I might have been shorted one of those, like one of the red caps or something, because when I bought the new Breakout board, it came with one of the red caps, but I don't believe this one had one here. So I don't know about that. I think it was missing one, but I got a new one with the new board, so it doesn't really it worked out in the wash. So got lucky there. I mean, I guess you could just, solder something to those and shrink wrap it or something, but it's nice to have connectors, I guess. All right. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. This one may be available to someone out there. I might sell it or something like that. I don't know. And get rid of it. This version 1. Okay, looks like it's up to temperature. So now let's try to get this guy off. Looked like it worked well. Ow. Hopefully I didn't melt it too long. No, I think it did well. It did deform just a bit, but I think I did okay. Trying to just push it back into position. I think I'll be able to do that. I think I did deform it just a bit, meaning it melted through just a little bit. Trying to just push this back to the same spot it was. I don't know how much luck I'm having with that, but I don't think it matters that much. Okay, so that one's done. That came out really nice and clean. So now I can put this guy aside. And I guess what we need to do now is I'm going to turn this guy off and stick it over here to the side to cool somewhere where it's not going to melt anything. And then what am I going to do? I am going to solder in the new one. Solder this guy back into place. I'm going to see if I can get that guy back into position here. I get it. I felt it move, I think. Actually, I think it's just stabbing holes in my desk and not really doing much of anything. Maybe I need something hard. Try this ruler. Boy, it really, that plastic, when it melted, it really, usually these things just kind of slide right through. This thing's really stubborn. Wow, it doesn't want to seem to slide at all. I'm going to leave it right where it's at and not worry about it. Because I think it's fine just how it is. I don't think it's going to cause any troubles at all. I'm going to end up bending it or breaking it or some other thing. Cause worse problems. Okay, so let's get this guy in here. Have a look. What's the orientation? Don't really know. I think it's back, right? Yeah. Goes like back like that. Is that how it is on the other side? Yeah, you want that to face you. Okay, and I think it actually has it written on here. Yeah, the little backside thing's there. Okay, good. So, got that guy in there. And how are we going to do this? Maybe I can just use some helping hands to kind of keep this thing in the right spot. I can do it like that, and is that gonna work? Helping hands are in the way. Helping hands aren't helping. How about that? Turn it over. Just need to get it like level enough to sit flat, and then we're good. Is that flat? Really hard to tell. Guess we want to flex it that way more than the other way. Okay, that feels flat to me. Stays there. Got this guy up to temperature, and now let's solder him in. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. Done. I think that's it. Yep, it's in there. Great. Make sure this guy fits with no problems. Yep, good. Okay, done. So we got that guy in there now on the new board. So we can attach our audio that way. And I took the jumper off again. So I guess that's so it will pass through here and not through the ribbon cable. Okay, so this guy's done again, I think. Put him over here. Okay, so that one's done. I'm going to move these voice cards out of the way as well. Stick these over here. Now what? And I'm actually going to move this guy out of the way too. I don't think we need him right now. What do we need? So, and I don't think we need our voice card. We'll get that out of the way. I think what we're going to do now is the hardware board and the main board, right? I think we're going to mount those two together, is my suspicion. So here's our main board. I've put this over upside down, has those feet now. And here's our hardware board. I do have to figure out the headphone jack in there. This looks like the right orientation, actually. Right? Yeah, it is. So those are going to mount into those. It's going to be tricky to get that in there. Yeah, those are going to align. And we need our 1/4-inch headphone jack in there as well. So let's go ahead and place that guy. There we go. Yeah, that looks stable. And then this guy's going to go on top. So, and then the screws will go in from the other side. So maybe we should align this guy. You kind of got to just do it all at once, don't you? So we'll get him in there. And then we got to align our pins. Did I do it? No. Wait, it is extremely difficult. Maybe it's the diopter. Maybe I should get rid of it. No, need the diopter to see what's going on. Oh my god. This is super difficult to align these. I just can't seem to get the right orientation. There, finally. Woo. Get him in there? I think so. Here, I'm trying to make sure I don't have like maybe I need less magnification. Okay, there. That looks correct. They are slowly pulling down there. This guy doesn't feel okay there. That looked good. Okay, there. Yeah, that mounted all the way. That's flush. Okay, good. So that mounted the two together. And my headphone jack seems just fine. Kind of just fed itself into position. And now I think we need all the screws on there as well. I think what I'm going to do, just to be careful, is put my headphone jack faceplate on here and screw that on just to make sure we get that guy on there. Okay, there. That seems right. Okay, I'm going to flip this over. And these are going to sit on the knobs there. Okay, that's great. Now, I guess we need the black screws, which I have a bunch of. Now I have, what is this, 6 larger ones, and I got 2 packs of small ones. I think I got an extra one of these somehow. But let me look here. I think the small ones are for the back here. I think the 6 big ones are to mount. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down the left and right edge is for the box, like the backside box. So that's what that's going to be for. I think now what I'm going to do is go ahead and mount these guys on, the small ones, with these little screws. And these, of course, are hex. I think this is the, are these 2.0? Yeah. 2 millimeter. Okay. I'll put that guy back, and here, maybe I can zoom in a little bit. Might be a little easier, might make a little more sense. This camera quality is not great, but it should help a little. Okay, so just so you know, what I'll do is before I finish this off, where's my mouse? Oops. I am going to pull this up, and what are we gonna? I'm gonna switch to the main cam and show you how this was kind of mounted. It's a little better quality, but that's the kind of sandwich. Those are the, you know, standing position pins. Oop, hitting my microscope. And then these are these little mounts here, like these will mount with screws to those standoffs. Okay, so let's get back to it. Okay, switch back to this one. Now I have some of these small ones, and let's see if we can. I'm gonna just get a couple started if I can. Boy, that feels quite tight, like it's cutting threads. That doesn't feel right. Is that correct? Is it supposed to cut threads through there? Am I have the wrong? Maybe these are different sizes. So these are the big ones. Maybe there's smaller ones yet. Maybe those are a different size for the front or what have you. Okay, let's try these. Oh, these are smaller. Okay, so there you go. So there is a difference, and these are plus. Okay, so I'm not sure what these were for then. Guess these were for, I don't know why I have extra of these. I think these are for the front plate then? Yeah, I use these on the front plate. I don't know. I don't know what these are for, actually. These are hex bolts. I mean, like they have a hex screw in. These look, maybe these are the same, because there's 6 of these. So these are the ones that are for the main box. I think these are doubles, because there's 6 and 6. So yep, these are the doubles of what I have, and these tiny ones are for the back here. And these are not hex, these are plus. So we'll switch back to our plus. Okay. It started to widen out my hole there, which is not right. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm not going to tighten that. I'm just going to get it in there, but leave it nice and loose. And just add, maybe I'll do each corner. Be a bit smarter about this, perhaps. I'll make sure there are no alignment. Why am I getting, I can't even screw this. I think this one's too big. Let's try a smaller one. Yeah, that's too big. Okay, there we go. Let's go corner to corners. Do this one down here. Why not? There's one over here. See? There's more. Over here. One here. And one here in the middle. And then there's that other middle one that's missing because that's the one we left out. And there's one down here. Well, I think one up here. All right, how many is that total? I don't know. To count it. All right, so what do we got? Okay, so I think at this point I can kind of snug these down. Going to. Okay, there's, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There was a 12th, but it's gone. Okay, so let's put these back for now. So those were, I think I have double of the bigger bolts. Okay, good to know. Okay, and then I'm going to go for these guys. Okay. Okay. This guy's already tight. Guy's tight. This one I don't think is. And I think that's it. Nope, this one. And maybe the one down there. I don't know. Okay, and those two are tight. I think that's it. Do this one? I think so. Yeah. We are complete. Okay. So there it is. Boy, that feels good. So that is in there. This guy's going to need to be soldered in. And I'm kind of holding off on that till I just make sure of everything else. Okay, those all look good. Okay, so now what? Maybe I solder this guy in. My soldering iron is on. I could do that. Maybe I'll solder him in. And what am I missing now? What else needs to be done? I think that's it, isn't it? Really, that might be it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to solder the headphone jack in. And then we're really, I think, ready to wire up and test the first voice card. I think I'll start with, testing my power soon, and then start working on that stuff. So here, I'm going to get rid of these screws. And what am I going to do? I am going to solder in the headphone jack. This guy, I'm not sure how to do this. It looks like it just wants a shit ton of solder. There, that's in pretty good. Can't get the right angle. Come on, no. There we go. Okay, I'm going to call that good. A little ugly, but not bad. Okay, one's done as well. Okay, looks good. Done. Great. I didn't really tighten that, but don't really need it very tight. Give it a hand tight here. There we go. Okay, so that's in 2 now. Now what? I think, is that it? Oh my God, this feels awesome. Okay, so I think what we need to do too is visually inspect in here that nothing's touching. Doesn't look like it. They're really close to the ICs, but it is just plastic on the tops. But nothing is touching other than what needs to touch, I believe. Woohoo! Okay, good so far. Now, I think we are looking at a power situation soon. I don't know. I have to experiment and figure out how these connectors work with a little wire, but I don't want to destroy them figuring out how they work either. I was thinking of looking that up online and seeing how other people do this, see if I could find some examples of these in use. I don't know what they're called exactly. Maybe I can find it in the bill of materials. But what do we need to test? We need to test power. So here, let me grab this breakout board. So here are our main kind of players again. So what do we have? So I have this guy, which I'm assuming is the audio kind of, shielded audio stuff to go from here to here, right, on the board for a better audio connection. But I'm assuming these don't go very far. Like, if this is this orientation, you probably only need a piece, yay long to get there. So maybe I could use the rest of this for power. That's possible. I don't know. I don't know how long it is. I may have to do some futzing with the bucks. So because here's our switch, and right now I have it in the on position for me, which is the 2 empty slots up, and that will go in here. But I will have to wire, from this. You guys are seeing that? Yeah, from this breakout board, we'll have to have our powers, and I guess I'll take them in the top 2 side by side, and then matching one side by side from the bottom 2 that will run to over here and connect to the power board. I'm not sure which is positive and negative there. I think I might want to ask on the build group. To me, it looks like positive would be the left side, and negative, which would match how that's laid out here. Ground is on the right, voltage is on the left, but I want to confirm. So, and that would come out of the bottom 2 and connect to that. And then we would have definitely this will connect this to this guy. And I've taken the jumper out here and here, so I think it enables these. And then, of course, our where's it at? Our this ribbon cable will connect here and run to our breakout board here for connections, right? So we should have power that comes into here, comes out of here, and goes to here, and then all of our different power rails will power. This ribbon cable will connect there to there for MIDI and other stuff, and our audio will connect here to here with the jumpers uninstalled. I think that's my plan. And then I have my first voice card that I can put in there, and I think we can calibrate with one voice card. That was going to be my plan, just to make sure everything's working. And then here's our programmer port for this guy to program the firmware. Okay, so what am I going to do today? What am I going to do right now? I'm not sure what I'm going to do right now. I guess I could get the box out here, take these 2 off, and just kind of place this in the back of the box and see what my spacing is for how long this cable. I wish they gave me a little more of this. That would have been nice, maybe. I mean, I'm assuming they gave me that other consolidated cable to run the powers. I don't know why they would only give me white. I guess just assuming you use both, but that could cause some confusion. Ooh, my box has a little ding in it here. Oh, it's not a ding, it's just some stuff stuck to it. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so let's kind of like place this here. I'm going to move this other thing over now. Our board here as our switch. And let's put this thing in here and see what it looks like. I don't think you guys can really see this well, but I'm going to just stick it in there. Okay, that went in pretty well. Can you see it? I don't know. Yeah, you can see it there. And then let's pull this over, and I'll just put these on just now. I just really loosely, like hand tight. Never like these plastic leads on these things. I was afraid they're gonna strip. Okay, because I tend to be a compulsive over tightener. There we go. All right, I'm gonna just kind of tack these on here, kind of hand tight. Okay, there we go. And how are we gonna do this? I guess I can stick this way or this way. It's not gonna fall off. I'm just trying to visually get a sense of what our spacings are like how far this thing is gonna. Oh my god! It's upside down. I have to say, it just feels so good to finally like feel the weight of this thing, and that it actually is like fitting in the box and starting to look like something is an amazing feel. So it's a little longer than I thought, I guess. Well, not really. Going down there, but I mean, you need room to pull this in and out. So I think this is intended to be just the audio cable, and we're going to run separate power cables. We're going to do that because you want length if you have to pull this thing out of here to be able to pull it up and have it kind of telescope out and telescope in. So we're going to use this just for our audio then. And then we're going to run a separate power to the switch and to the main power board. Yep, that's how it's going to go. Okay, so we kind of solved that mystery. There is quite a bit of dust in here. I do need to clean this thing out before I put it all together. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy back out for a second now. We need to wire, and we're not ready to finalize this anyway. All right, so I'm going to stick these back on here so I don't lose them. Is it the same? Sometimes they have like a flat side and a bevel side. Okay, that guy's back. Okay, let's get rid of this guy again. Can clean this up later. Well, that was exciting, like I said, just to see this kind of come together. Here's our switch. Okay, so we need to run these audio cables. I guess I could mount them in these things. I'm not sure how this all goes. Wish I could find a little guide on these things. To me, it looks like you would twist the strands, shove it in there, but I feel like it's going to splay out all over. Or maybe you just put it to the left side and then, or to the back side where there's kind of a gap. Put the wires and then you bend the wire over so it crimps down in there. I think that's the play. Maybe you stick it in this big reservoir and then drag the wire down so it crimps in there and stays. Maybe it would be good if you could get the sheathing, maybe. I guess the sheathing from the wire will be there. and then that will keep it. I don't know. This seems janky to me. I don't know why there wouldn't be like a soldered connection. I guess it goes faster. I don't know. Hopefully that's not, this isn't intended to be power cable. I don't know. It looks shielded to me. That's why I was thinking this would be the better suited for the audio. So it's nice and clean audio coming out. All right, and then, I have this consolidated wire around, like these guys. This is, what is this? These, I don't know if you can see it. I was thinking of using this stuff. It's solid core, so it would be a little, looks like it would fit down in there really well, though. And crimp in there well. I like the solid core just because it's, it's solid. I don't know why. I know it's harder to kind of work with, but you can also kind of bend it in shapes and leave it too. So I may use that. That's what I have around, and I have a ton of it. I don't really have stranded. So I think I'm going to go that route maybe for the power. I don't think there's any downsides to using that, and maybe just kind of twist it and cut two different lengths for the power supplies. What else? So what should I do now? I guess what I'm waiting, I'm just thinking about everything. So this is my audio. I guess we could work on getting those connected to these connectors, and then that part would be set, and then all we'd have to do is then cut our two power supplies. At some point I'm going to have to solder them to that. I guess I could work on that as well. What should I do next? I saw some people just plug the power in here and ran two cables and just tested out their power board. I don't want to have to uncrimp these, though. It looks like it's meant to go one way and then not come out. So I'm going to intend to wire it up properly from the get-go, I think. Is there anything I'm missing? What am I missing? I have to drill out my case for the I don't know what they even call this. This is called the Kijimi output mod. I have to drill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pan holes, and then 10 quarter-inch jack holes. I think I soldered these slightly crooked. That's going to be a pain. I think I saw other people. I'm going to put masking tape maybe and trace the holes. Maybe that'll help. I don't know yet. I know I'm going to make them a lot bigger. Not a lot bigger, but bigger, so there's some play there. That's going to be a bit of a trick. I don't know if I have a punch to mark the holes. I don't have a drill press anymore either. I'm reluctant to do this with a regular drill. Thinking about that. Thinking about it. Not sure yet about this. I mean, I guess I can add this later because all it is a ribbon that plugs into the back and then punches out. So maybe I'll worry about this a little bit later. It is something that I think I can add on, right? What else am I missing? Am I missing anything? I don't think so. I think I'm just nervous to do the final wirings. So I think what we're gonna do is should we do some power? I think I want to ask about the power board on the build forum. And to do that, I will need the camera that I'm using here right now to take a picture and post it up. So With that, so what am I going to do? I think I'm going to end here for right now. Let me get this off. Let me switch over to the main cam. And maybe what we'll do is I'll come back over here. Okay. Here we are. Let me unmute this one. Okay, we're back. Back in business here. I think I'm going to leave it here for right now. I'm going to have some lunch. I'm going to post a question on the build forum about the that power connector on the board, on the power board. Make sure the polarity, I get that right. And then I think my next steps are going to be to figure out, wire cabling for the mains powers and soldering it onto that dual position single throw switch, and then have that power come from the power supply to the switch and the switch to the power board. And then I'm going to test the power board before plugging it in. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and plug in the power board and maybe power things up without the voice card in. Not sure about that. And then, start going from there. And then if it seems like things are functioning properly, if my power board's working right, I will, plug everything in and then try to apply the firmware. But I'm going to wait for that and hold off. And then also wire in that audio cable. Okay, I'm going to leave it here. More of a thinking skulls session, but that was great. So I will see you in a bit, maybe this afternoon, depending upon how things go. I might be back tomorrow, but it is Christmas Eve. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. If I have time, maybe I'll be back tomorrow. If not, I'll be back after the holiday, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe on Christmas. Probably be bored and sitting around. So I'll be back soon. All right. Take care, everyone out there. See you soon.